fun, and he really is Chris Hooper.
Thanks, Ken. I don't know how I can do a introduction like that. But yeah, like I said, my name's Chris Hooper, partner at Cirillo Hooper Company, and let's get the show on the road, Any minute now. Now, I couldn't really find any slides, so I just picked random lolcats, so you'll have to forgive me for that. My wife loves cats, so here we go. Okay, so all business is about people. At the end of the day, companies are just collections of people. In fact, the word corporation actually stems from the Latin, translating to body of people. Sometimes I think we lose sight of that fact. We treat the corporation like a machine, its staff like cogs, and its customers as mindless automatons that can't think for themselves. Now everyone, I want you to actually stand up. This is an interactive speech. So everyone on their feet, and anyone who was standing, put your hand up for me. Now I want you to put your hand, so stand up, hands up, and now sit down or put your hands down if you've never had a real job before. And by real job I mean, you were an employee working for an employer. Alright, now everyone else who's standing, I want you to sit down if the reason you left your last job was because the pay was crappy, okay? Or you left for a higher paying job, or maybe it was more profitable being on welfare. It certainly seems like that. I know it was for me when I was fresh out of high school. Alright, so there's plenty of people still standing. Alright, anyone left standing, sit down if the reason you left your last job was because the work was unfulfilling. Okay? So an example of this was that the job was boring, maybe the work wasn't challenging, maybe it wasn't a good use of your personal skills, or maybe you just weren't passionate about what you were doing every single day. Alright, we've knocked a few out. Alright, now anyone else left? You can sit down if you felt like the work was lacking in work-life balance. So sit down if you left your job because your employer was working you 100 hours a week and expected your firstborn child. Okay? Maybe you felt like you were missing out on time with family and friends, or maybe your health was just going down the crapper. Next one, sit down, okay, if you left your last job because your boss was a dick. Alright? Maybe your boss, there we go, maybe your boss didn't demonstrate inspiring leadership, maybe the boss was a bit of a bully, or maybe your boss just sucked at his job and that just made your job even harder. Okay, so we've still got a few left standing. Okay, so anyone left standing, can you please sit down if the reason you left your last job was because the last job you left the last company lacked purpose. Okay? Now this means that the company maybe didn't have a vision that you could buy in, if the company even had a vision at all. Or maybe the company was performing human rights violations, or more seriously, let's think maybe there were some ethical issues at stake. Now there's still a few left to knock out. Now sit down if the reason you left your last job was because there simply weren't enough opportunities. Maybe it felt like the job was going nowhere, or you were moving sideways rather than up. Either way, you were getting sick of waiting for someone to die, quit or retire so you could move ahead in your career. Now, last but not least, there's still some people standing up. Sit down if the reason you left your last job was because your co-workers were dicks, okay? Maybe you weren't happy with the company culture, maybe you were sick and tired of office politics, or maybe you were sick and tired of the gossip, or maybe there was just one person there, not the boss, who was making your life an absolute hell. Alright, so we've still got a handful of people, which is typically the case when I run these sort of experiments. Now, anyone left standing is clearly a freak and this experiment doesn't apply to them. But in all seriousness, the other people standing probably left because of personal issues beyond the control of the actual company. So the feedback I get from individuals is things like health reasons, family reasons, or just a complete change in career. So everyone left standing can sit down now.
And what if you didn't leave, you were kicked out?
Either or. Alright, so what am I trying to prove here?
I think your boss was a dick.
The whole point is it comes from this book called People Glue by a guy called Ian Hutchinson. And essentially what it demonstrates is that there are 7 reasons why people leave jobs, and conversely 7 reasons why people stay at jobs. Okay, so the first reason why people are supposed to stay at jobs are about rewards. Now that's about the cash that's clearly correlated with performance. For example, I left a job that paid $55,000 for a job that paid $80,000. I'd be stupid not to. The next one on the list is about work fulfillment. Okay, now this is about performing work that is challenging and stimulating. Personal example, I once left a job at a department store stacking shelves because I was there stacking shelves, and as you can imagine, stacking shelves is pretty boring work at the best of times, particularly when there's no scope for career progression beyond stacking shelves. The next one on the list is work-life balance, and that's actually a photo of the swimming pool on the roof of our building. Now, work-life balance is about having a corporate culture that actually encourages life outside of work. As an example, I once left a job because the company expected me and everyone else to work 60 hours a week and didn't give a crap about our health. And eventually, as a consequence, drove my health into the ground. The next one is about leadership, okay? That's about having a leader or a group of leaders that inspires performance and recognises the efforts of each individual. I've left a few jobs before because my bosses lacked the requisite leadership and I couldn't respect them, let alone take commands from them. Okay, the next one on the list is purpose. Okay, so this is about working for a company that has more vision and purpose beyond just making its shareholders rich. Working your ass off to make someone else rich doesn't exactly inspire the best in people. People need a company with vision to work towards, something that inspires them to get out of bed every morning. Next one on the list is opportunity. I love these cats. It is all about having an environment that facilitates training and career progression. I don't know about you, but I can't hang around in the same job knowing that it's not going anywhere. And again, I've left jobs because I got sick and tired of waiting for someone to either die, quit or retire before I could move on in my career. The next one is about relationships, okay? And relationships is about having awesome people to work with. Because let's face it, like most of you, you probably spend more time with your co-workers than you do your spouse. So why wouldn't you want to work with awesome people that you can just bounce energy off of one another? And as an example, personally, I left the company because the staff was so demoralised, I just got fed up. So where am I going with all of this? At my accounting firm, Cirillo Hooper Company, we decided to put our people first and the profit second. We noticed that you can't focus on customer service if you treat your staff like crap. And you can't focus on efficiency if you treat your staff like crap. In fact, everything we get as a result comes as a result of empowering our people first. So what do you guys need to do? If you're an employee, you need to sort out what your priorities are between rewards, job fulfillment, work-life balance, leadership, purpose, opportunity, and relationships. And then you need to communicate these to your employer. And if you are an employer, you need to read the book, and then you need to find out what your people actually want and start giving it to them. Cheers.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, here we go.